Hi betting experts, on Saturday the 1st of February, an 8-race extravaganza on ITV on Saturday. Good to soft at Musselburgh, where they've actually been watering to maintain those conditions, which is impossible to believe really given the weather we've had in the south for the last few weeks. Sandown, they survived. It's a mixed card as planned. On pretty heavy ground. We start off with our betting expert daily nap, sponsored by Priced Up Bet. This goes in the 2 o'clock at Sandown, a 2-mile handicap chase. Everything in place here for Etalon to get back into the winning groove. Now, Dan Skelton going really well, unlike a lot of other trainers. He's had 8 winners in the last 14 days. Compare that with Paul Nicholls, who's barely had a run there. His gallop's been washed away. He had 3 winners in the whole of January. So Dan carrying on, absolutely flying. And Etalon has been running okay under quiet rides this winter, getting his mark down by a few pounds. He's run twice in his life at Sandown on testing ground. He finished 4th. I think it was a 17-runner handicap hurdle, running an absolute screamer, and he won over this course and distance on testing ground last season. So Sandown, his optimum track, a patient ride from Harry on the cards. I think he can pick a couple of front runners off up the hill. He's around about 3-1 with Priced Up Bet. I think it's a very fair price. Our betting expert value angle selection goes in the 307 at Sandown, a 2-mile 7 handicap hurdle. This will be a real test of stamina, and I think that'll suit Dartmoor Pirate. Now, Dartmoor Pirate comes from the Anthony Honeyball yard, going okay at the minute. I thought he ran a screamer on Boxing Day at Wincanton last time out, running on quite strongly to finish second there, showing a really good attitude despite finding the track on the sharp side. He's another one who's run an absolute blinder on his only previous visit to Sandown, 4th in a massive field, running really well. Sam Twiston-Davies, an excellent booking to get to the bottom of him, and I think he'll outstay these rivals up the hill. The remaining 6 races on ITV on Saturday, we'll spin through them in time order, starting at Sandown with the 125, 2-mile 4-furlong handicap hurdle, is Nicky Henderson's Old Time Chaser. Now, this one was pretty disappointing last time out, in truth, but I think there are excuses there. He remains with quite a lot of potential in handicaps, granted a proper test of stamina, and I think the fact he's got a fly weight in really bad ground could be a real plus under Nico de Boinville. Over to Musselburgh for the 142, a listed juvenile hurdle over 2 miles. Well, I think this test of speed will suit Hossam from the excellent Adrian Keatley yard. And Adrian is having a really good season, making a name for himself, and Hossam impressed when landing hefty market confidence last time out. Got Hughes booked. I think he'll come there cruising and do them for speed. Back to Musselburgh for the 217, a handicap hurdle over 2 miles. Well, Tristan Davidson is a very shrewd operator, and he's got his rewired down to an attractive handicap mark after a few quiet runs this season. Obviously, you'd like to see the money arrive. That would certainly increase confidence, but I think this better ground will definitely suit rewired, and he could be the type to land a touch on the day. Back to Sandown for the 235, a small but select field for the Scilly Isles, a 2-mile 4 Grade 1 novice chase. Well, Handstands comes from the Ben Pauling yard, who suffered the awful news that the jukebox man's out for the season earlier in the week. But Handstands has got a similar profile in a way. He's a fantastic jumper given his experience, and I think these demanding fences, particularly the railway fences down the back, will really suit him. I'm hoping Ben Jones will be positive and front run. He's a very strong traveller, Handstands, and I think it'll be best utilised from the front round here, getting his rivals under pressure. He's got the scope to improve into a proper Grade 1 performer. This is a belting good race, mind you. A couple of his rivals have got similar profiles, but Handstands makes the most appeal at the prices. Back to Musselburgh for the 250, a handicap chase over 2-mile 4. Well, Trap Rain Law's been bubbling under this season for Lucinda Russell, but I thought he was quite eye-catching last time out at Kempton. That was that Grade 2 won by Soul Icon. He did jump left, Trap Rain Law, which is a bit of a concern, but hopefully he'll be a bit straight around here if they're a bit more positive. He was dropped out at Kempton. I think they knew he was outclassed, but he shaped quite nicely. Turning for home, he wasn't that far behind, and I think he's in pretty good form. He's back into a handicap here under the talented Patrick Wadge, and I think he should go really close. And finally, to Sandown, the 342, this really will be a test of stamina. a 3 mile handicap chase. I like Gustavian here, which isn't the first time I've said that. I think I've been on him about 5 times, usually each way, so we've come to no harm. But he's actually a very good jumper, Gustavian, but he does make one howl at every race. When he's pushed into his fences, he sees a stride and gains ground at them, and when his rider lets him potter into them, he can really make a horlicks of it. But he stays extremely well. He goes very well on heavy ground, and the icing on the cake, Sam Twiston Davies booked. I'm hoping he'll be positive from the front, and Gustavian certainly won't be stopping up the sapping final climb to home. Best of luck with all 8 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts, and please do check out our sponsor Priced Up Bet, who bet extremely competitively on all of these races.